Tonight, we're talking about something that can completely change the way you view relationships. The difference between love and attachment, because many women think they're in love when really they're emotionally attached. Emotionally attached. Why did that come out wrong? Anyways, an attachment can feel intense, obsessive, emotionally consuming, but intensity is not always love. Hey everyone, welcome back to another episode of You Were Meant for More. I'm your host, Francine Ayala. Thank you for being here. I appreciate you, whether you're coming back or you're new to this show. Either way, I'm grateful. So hope you guys are having a phenomenal day, evening, wherever you're at in the world. I love it. So today is all about love or attachment, you guys. You know why I'm excited about this show? Because it brings a lot of awareness to where you're at in your own relationships or in your past. I've been through it all. So that's why I'm going to get out here and be transparent about it, about where I was in my own attachment style, so that I can share with you the signs and where not to stay stuck, because you're missing out on true love that is meant for you. Okay. So we're going to jump in now. So let's grab a pen, a paper, grab your journal, grab something to drink, and let's jump in. All right, you guys, really quick. My eyelashes got stuck to the side of my eyes. So I was like, ugh. I don't know if the camera caught it, but I caught it. And I forgot my microphone, so my apologies. Okay, let's go ahead and get this started here. Okay, so ultimately, chaos is not chemistry, you guys. I want you to be aware of that. Chaos is not chemistry. I'm going to be going into a quiz later on in the show, so make sure you're here for that so that you can write down exactly where you're falling under. And if there's somebody that you notice that could be also in that same area who's being affected by a type of relationship, then you're able to notice the signs as well. Okay. So if you're joining me live or you're catching me on replay, oh, you guys, I don't know what is going on today, but I am stumbling. Have you ever had one of those days where just like anything you did to stay awake was not working? I did everything, you guys. I woke up early today. I did the whole Neuromints. With the caffeine. I took a nap. I took 2 naps. Like, it's just, today was a day for me to just rest. But I know with women and their hormones, sometimes they go through those days where they just need to slow down and rest. And today was clearly one of those days. But of course, it happened on a show day. So guess what? We are not resting. We're pulling through and we're pushing forward. So bear with me if I stumble over my words or, trip on the way there. We'll make it through, you guys. All right, here we go. So attachment fears loss and love creates safety. So you got to understand the two. And just to be blunt out there now, I was really stuck on abandonment and attachment. And I know why. Remember, if you're new to the show, you get to learn that we build these types of patterns from a very young age. So it could be from 0 to 8 years old. We are getting imprinted on with beliefs, with patterns from our past. So whatever it is that happened to you during those times is affecting you in your adult life. So I went through abandonment because my dad left. He was in the military. He had to go work, but he left the country away from us. So I felt abandoned. But my adult life didn't know that. So I was always seeking out relationships that wouldn't leave me. So there's that abandonment and there's that attachment, like don't leave, because I really wanted to feel, or I'm so sorry, I did it the opposite. I would date men that wouldn't stay committed. And so it was one of those, like, I was setting myself up for success in my brain where eventually they would have to leave. So therefore, those were the types of relationships I would date. So there was the abandonment because eventually they would have to leave. And then there was a time in my relationships, or dating, I should say, because I didn't really have relationships for the last 13 years of being single, was the attachment style where I didn't want them to leave, but I was forcing something that wasn't there. It was my own love that I was missing. It was my own needs that I was missing. And this is why this is powerful, because when you realize that a lot of it is internal and their past programming, you then understand the awareness of where it's coming from. And then you get to move lovingly forward so that you can attract the right relationships that are meant for you. All right, you good with me? Stick around. We're going to go deeper and dive further. So, all right, let me go ahead and head on over to the next one. You guys know I have my trusty notes because you know me, I will get off topic and I will go all over the place. Got to love that brain of mine. Okay, so healthy love should not feel like survival mode. Ooh, you guys, I can do a whole topic on this because what's happening is there's these patterns of relationships that, you know, I was part of, that I see people in, and there's a constant frustration. There's a constant abandonment of self because women are feeling like that's all they deserve. And men too, because I've talked to several men who are in the same boat. Now, when I talk to men, wording is different because ultimately I know how men process and I know how women process. So my goal is to collectively bring them into alignment so that they're living harmoniously in peace, love, and joy. That's the type of relationships that dynamic. That is the type of relationship dynamic that I want for each and every one of you. Okay. All right. So I want to make sure that you are living with the healthy love, and it shouldn't be that survival mode. And believe me when I say that peace comes, it does. When you do the work, when you decide to let go of control and you allow yourself to receive that process of healing. All right, let's continue. So how many of you have struggled to let go of someone you knew wasn't healthy for you? Anybody? Leave me a comment. You could say, that was me. That was me. Yep. I didn't want to let them go. You understand there was just something there. You couldn't let go. Like, I mean, I'll be honest, like I wanted to feel loved. I wanted to feel needed. Like I was very needy. Anybody out there needy? I was very needy. I was that person, like, you know, I wanted to spend every waking moment with this person I was dating, right? And it wasn't feasible, you know, but I wanted to feel like their closeness. I wanted to constantly be with them. And it's like, I mean, granted, that's healthy in a way that two people can come together and feel the same way, but also know that they get to have their time apart so that there's, you know, moments to miss each other and then come back and share how their day went. And they do it together lovingly when they come back together. Does that make sense? So it's not a constant like hovering. It's not a constant neediness of one another. It's more you're choosing to love on them no matter where they're at in their life, like where they're at, you know, in the day, I should say. So whether they're at work and they're, you know, you know they're at work, you're at work, and you know the healthy way is like you guys are excited to see each other when you get home. Perfect. But it's not constantly, I need you like by my side 24/7. It's that you want them by your side. You know what I mean? And it's just, it's a different type of dynamic. All right, stay with me. We're going to break it down. All right. So just because you can't let go doesn't mean it's love. So a lot of women will get stuck here. I can't let go. Like, I mean, you're holding on to something that is ultimately a need, an attachment. You're afraid. There's that fear of loss, but it doesn't mean it's love. You know, love is like I mentioned earlier, it's not chaos. You got to feel grounded. You got to feel at peace. That's where God is. God is right here. And it's so funny because today I know if you've watched episodes in the past, you've heard me say, God asked me to bring the people back to the heart because that's where He is. And, so doing this whole self-love mastermind was really bringing people back to the heart. And I absolutely love it because it was just a confirmation that I was on the right path. Now, granted, anytime I'm not on the right path, best believe He will redirect me because He has. Okay. So the next one is, so I want you to understand that people confuse attachment with love because inconsistency feels familiar. So let me explain that, you guys. Inconsistency feels familiar. So remember I talked about patterns and beliefs and, ultimately everyone has their own roadmap. So your body is structured to hold on to these scenarios. So what happens is women will throw themselves into these attachment style type of relationships because it's the inconsistency of the relationship that feels familiar. Therefore, that's all they know. And so I'm here to jolt them and to help them understand that there's more out there for them. Okay. It could come from childhood wounds, that shape attraction, so understand that this is where something, it can evolve in so many different ways as a child, where the child wasn't getting the love that they needed. Therefore, they're searching for it in their adult life, and it can become an attachment issue. And then, of course, it comes with emotional highs and lows that create the addiction. So it's a constant up and down type of moment where you're always looking for something to fill that need. Hey, we got Will in the house. Hey, babe. Love is a powerful weapon. Yes, it is. I'm going to use it all against you. I'm just kidding. I like messing with him. All right. So let me go. Thank you for being here, by the way. Love you. Okay. So the nervous system gets attached to chaos. Nervous system gets attached to chaos. And that's a pattern that our body learned at a younger age. So if we only knew love through chaos, that's what we're going to continue to attract. That's what we're going to continue to align with in our future relationships. All right, you guys, sorry, I got to turn on my air because at first it was a little cold and now I'm like, oh, I'm burning up over here. All right, so I want to make sure that some people are addicted to emotional inconsistency. Okay, so does that make sense? You don't even realize it. Like when people talk about toxic relationships, look what they're talking about. Some people are addicted to emotional inconsistency. So if this is something that you grew up seeing, if this is something that you know to be true because of what was around you, then that's the type of relationship that you're going to continue to be part of. And so when you're constantly in a spiral of why your partner doesn't act a certain way and why this is happening and why do they keep showing up like this, it's all internal. It's a program that you attracted without even knowing it. And this is why I talk so much about self-love and how to progress forward with self-worth, forgiveness, and understanding your past patterns are no longer serving you and how you get to step into your own divine purpose. Okay, so if peace feels boring to you, chaos may feel emotionally familiar. So let me say that again. If peace feels boring to you, peace, you guys, everybody wants peace, but not really, because if their body and their nervous system is not familiar with peace, chaos is something that they're emotionally familiar with. Therefore, they will always revert back to that toxic relationship. Any of this sounding familiar? Let me know if you're with me. Give me a yes, so true, been there, or whatever that may be, that may look like. Completely fine. You guys, I shared earlier that I was on the abandonment and the attachment type of uh, attachment style. Like that was my own attachment style, which was the abandonment one. Okay, so many people are not chasing love, they're actually chasing emotional validation. So, I mean, when you look at these relationships sometimes and you're like, wait, like, this isn't love. If it's chaos, right? It's toxic. They're chasing that emotional validation that their body understands. And that's where it gets a little bit, not even a little bit, there's a lot of frustration in that. And it can cause pain on both sides. And usually, like, a lot of women will go through it because they're holding on to something that they're unaware of. And then they'll attract the same guy or the same man who doesn't respond accordingly. And then they're devastated because they're not getting what they expected from him. When in actuality, it should be understood that that's what needs to be healed within you. So if you're looking for that type of love, you got to be ready and decisive that you are going to chase it through yourself. Okay? So God does not create confusion and emotional chaos. I'm sorry. God does not create confusion and emotional chaos to destroy you. Sometimes he reveals your attachment so you can heal from it. Okay? This is the reason why certain things will happen in your life, because it's being presented to you to say, hey, I'm going to need you to do something with this now. Okay? So we're always in our heads, and this will always show up at the time it's supposed to be shown. And it's like, it's one of those, are you ready to listen, or are you going to do your own thing? And I always tell people, like, back in the day when I was in not so good relationships, I always tell people, like, nobody can tell you to leave. You can vent, you can be frustrated, you can do all that stuff. Nobody's going to tell you when, like, you need to leave. Ultimately, you're the one that's going to make the decision that it's done and you're going to walk away. But that's going to be your decision to do and nobody else's. Okay? Peace is not boring. It's actually healthy. And so this is why it's important that you understand the difference between peace and chaos. Because again, so many people understand chaos to be their peace when it's actually the other way around. Peace is not boring. It's healthy. All right. So tonight, I want to help you identify your attachment style. Okay? You guys ready for it? So I'm going to go ahead and put them on the screen. I'm going to put on questions for you. And I really want you to sit with it, to sit with the question and understand, sorry, understand where it's showing up in your life. And now, if you're like, watch this and you're like, Francine, I'm not even, sorry. Sorry about that. Sorry, let me get some water, you guys. You ever have your heart beat so fast, like right here in your throat? It's the weirdest thing, you guys. Some people say it's anxiety. Could be. Who knows? I'm probably high on caffeine because, remember, today was a rest day, but I was like, you can't, Francine, you got a show to do. It's okay. I felt it. I know what it is. Like, I felt it before. And so I just kind of take time to just let it do its thing. Take some water and we're good. All right. Here we go. So again, this quiz is not to shame yourself, but to understand yourself, where you're at. And what I was saying is, if you're not even in a relationship, it doesn't matter. You know why? Because this pertains to any type of relationship, a friendship, a career, colleagues, any type of person-to-person interaction, this relates to. Because what happens is sometimes people respond to other people based on their attachment styles. So it's not necessarily in relationships. It could just be in a type of work setting or in a circle of friends Like I had a friend one day reach out and say that, her friends were treating her poorly. And it's like, you know, I know patterns and I know cycles. You'll continue to surround yourself with the people that connect best to who you think you are. But if you're ready and willing to step into the divine purpose of the woman or man that you're created to be, you will attract that same circle. Promise you. Stick with me. Okay, so here is where I want you to rate yourself. So you guys got to make sure you have your pen, your paper. I wouldn't say do your cell phone because I really want you to reflect on it. I want you to take a piece of paper and a pen and write it down, because this is where when there's a whole system with your brain when it connects to your writing. It allows you to process the details and the emotions behind it. And then it connects you to either the story, it connects you to a situation that took place. And this is where I want you to become aware of it. All right. So let's go ahead and bring up so I want you to rate. So go ahead and put it down. One is saying, one says never, like this never happens to me. I'm going to go ahead and put this in the chat really quick so that you guys can see this. I thought I put it in there, but I guess I didn't. Okay, here we go. Okay, so what it's going to do is 1 is never. So this never happens to me. 2 is rarely. 3 is sometimes. 4 is often. And 5 is almost always. Okay? Just to kind of give you an idea. Okay, so the question number 1 first is, I fear people losing interest in me. So go ahead and rate that. I fear people losing interest in me. I want you to rate that. Is that a number 1? I never feel that way. Is that rarely a number 2? 3 sometimes, 4 often, or 5 almost always? So think about it. I fear people losing interest in me. Is that something that ranks high on your list? So that's number 1. Number 2 is, I overthink texts, conversations, or changes in behavior. Do you overthink texts, conversations, or changes in behavior? And how would you rate that? Would you rate that a 1, never, a 2, rarely, a 3, sometimes, a 4, often, or a 5, almost always? So do you overthink text, conversation, or changes in behavior? All right, let's see. Been there. Okay, let's see. Been there. It's difficult reality, and sometimes it's scary feeling to lose a caring person. Ah, I know where you're at. You're cute, babe. Okay, so let's go ahead and continue. I got more for you, so pay attention. I want to see where you're at too. All right, let's see. The next one is, I need reassurance often in relationships. Number 3, my boyfriend will tell you that I do. You guys, I used to be that needy person. I was, but I like messing with him now. Where I'm just like, I need attention. Like I love sending him reels. And there's this one cute reel that's like, I forget if it's, I don't know if it's a dog, but it's hitting like it's hitting a pan and it's going, me, like I was fine, by myself, single, but me in a relationship, and it's hitting a pan. I don't need reassurance, but I like to mess around that I do. And so him and I always have this running joke, but I don't know. Maybe I'll give that for myself. I would probably say sometimes because, Women love the reassurance. Women love, to be connected to and reassured in relationships that they're part of, they're not wasting their time. How about that? So I don't need it often, but every now and then, it's nice. So that's okay. Rate yourself. Okay, so is this 4? I think it's 4. Yeah. I struggle when someone pulls away emotionally. Like, how do you feel about that? Do you struggle with it internally when somebody pulls away emotionally? 1 is never. 2 is rarely. 3 is sometimes. 4 is often. And 5 is almost always. Do you struggle when someone pulls away emotionally? So, I mean, ultimately, this one here is like, it's good for communication. Like, communication is really good in relationships here. So when you feel somebody pulling away, it's always good. Like, is everything okay? And if they're like, yeah, yeah. Sometimes they're just having a hard time with work, or they're, a school, or whatever that may look like. So this is where a lot of it comes in, as like that emotional attachment. Like, they're pulling away, I'm freaking out. And so you would notice this a lot if that's where you're at in your attachment style. Okay, and then number 5 in this section is, I sometimes lose myself trying to keep love. How does that feel for you? I sometimes lose myself trying to keep love. Remember, you guys, love isn't supposed to be chaos. It's not supposed to be overwhelming. It's supposed, like, in a bad way, it's supposed to be peaceful, grounded, loving. So how do you feel about this? I sometimes lose myself trying to keep love. Do you never? 1, never, rarely, sometimes, often, or almost always? And how would you rate yourself there? I sometimes lose myself trying to keep love. Okay, so this particular quiz was an anxious attachment. So I want you to go ahead and add up your numbers and see where you're at. Are you mostly 5s? Are you mostly 4s? Are you mostly 3s? So you kind of want to take a look. And sometimes, you can average out, like where it's like maybe one of the questions was a 1, 1 was a 2, 1 was a 3, 1 was a 4, 1 was a 5. So there's an average out, right? But it's just really understanding those types of areas that you're in that can lead to this anxious attachment. Okay. So the core fear here is being abandoned. This was me, you guys. Remember, I shared earlier that if you don't know my story already, like, my dad was in the military. He left when I was 6 or 7, to Japan. He was stationed in Japan. He left in Barstow, but to me, he left us. We were abandoned, or I was, I should say. And as an adult, I didn't see that. But my relationship patterns told me otherwise. I was like, okay. So a lot of this resonated with me. So fear of people losing interest, yes. To be honest, yes. I used to, when I was dating, and I'm just gonna throw it all out there. Sorry, babe, if you're watching. But when I was in a relationship in the past, it's like the fear of losing interest in me. It was like, in a relationship, I was dating someone, and if I didn't hear from them or anything like that, I just had this fear that we weren't going to make it. And so I am completely relatable to this in the past. The overthink text, oh my goodness, you guys. The overthink text, conversations, or changes in behavior, all of it. Like, it almost felt like, okay, well, any moment they're going to leave me. And that was normal for me. So then, how many of you like built this like tough exterior and was like, I don't care. I don't need no man. I'm good. Anybody? I did that. I did that to protect the pain that I was going through, so understand that this is all a process of the emotions that we carry when we're holding on to these types of attachment styles. So let me see. The other one was I need reassurance often in relationship. Oh yeah, I mentioned earlier. I'm like, I really don't, but I like to tease, my boyfriend and, pretend that I do. It's fun. We joke around a lot. So, but I can honestly say the past me I used to always need, that reassurance. I used to always need that like comfort that, cause we also have love languages. So I needed that constant, like, the quality time. I always needed quality time, and I was so angry if you weren't giving it to me. And again, this was this anxious anxiety that I was going through, but it was ultimately the fear of abandonment. And then, of course, I sometimes lose myself trying to keep love. Yeah, I lost exactly who I was. I would spiral out of control. I would get emotionally dysregulated. I mean, understand that process? It's not fun, you guys. And I'm glad I worked through it. And this is where I want others to really understand that I don't want you to stay stuck in this space. It's not fun. It is the emotional turmoil it does on your body, on your system, on your stomach. You don't need it. But it's really understanding the past patterns that are affecting where you're at today. All right, we're going to go on to the next one. Did that help? Let me know if this was like speaking to you and you're like, what, Francine? Yeah, some of these actually relate to me. It's okay. It's becoming aware. It's fine. Whether you're catching it live, let me know, or catching it on replay. I'm curious, you guys, because I'm throwing all my dirty laundry out there. Okay, so this is your fear of being abandoned that we just went through. The signs are overthinking, people pleasing, emotional dependency, fear of rejection, anxiety in relationships. That is the fear of being abandoned. Okay. Anxious attachment says, please don't leave me. You guys, you shouldn't have to beg for love. Love should willingly come to you. Again, no judgment. I've been there. Okay. So here's a relatable example. You check your phone constantly, waiting for a text back, and your entire mood shifts depending on their attention. Remember? Do you remember going through that? I remember going through that. I was just like, I text and then I didn't hear back, and then my whole mood was low, and I was like, oh, this would affect me, would affect my business. Anything that I was doing, I was focused on. I was so down. I was so depressed. And I'm laughing because I remember that feeling. I'm laughing at me. I'm definitely not laughing at any situations that are occurring with anybody else. I'm laughing at me because I remember that pain that I went through. Okay? And it's not okay. It's not okay to keep you feeling stuck and in like turmoil. God is love. It's all right here, but you got to come back to the heart to find love within so that you can attract the love you deserve. All right. So you're not too much. You may just fear abandonment. Okay. This is everything we're going to uncover in the Self-Love Mastermind that I will share more at the end. All right. So our next one, we are going into another one. Okay. So here we go. We are going into, let me pull it up. All right, next. So that one was number 5. Now we're going into number 6. But it's another section. Here we go. Okay, so answer this question. I pull away when relationships become emotional. Is this you? Do you pull away when relationships become emotional? I know these women. Believe me when I say I wanted to be these women. I'm like, oh, if relationships got too much, I'd be like, oh, I'm done. Because you never want to be the needy one, or you'd never wanted to be known as the needy one, right? So how does this relate to you? Are you never, rarely, sometimes, often, or almost always. So that one again was, I pull away when relationships become emotional. All right. So that's number one in this section. Number two is, I struggle to fully trust people emotionally. This isn't relatable for me, but I know there's a lot of people out there with this. So you want to you're going to score this one on your quiz. I struggle to fully trust people emotionally. Is that a number one, which is rarely? Number two, what was it? No, number one is never. Number two is rarely. Number three is sometimes. Number four is often. And number five is almost always. So do you struggle to fully trust people emotionally? Okay, next one. Number three. I value independence more than vulnerability. These are my hardcore ladies. I value independence more than vulnerability. So these are like, this area is like your independent women, where they don't want to get too close because it'll disrupt everything they have going on. But that's not healthy either, because we were put here to be in relationships with each other. We were here to connect. It was never supposed to be only one person standing. So this is like saying that you're not willing to trust love again. So how would you rate this? I value independence more than vulnerability. Would you give it a 1? Never. Would you give it a 2? Rarely. 3, sometimes. 4. What was 4 again? I don't have them in front of me. Often. And then, or 5, almost always. Okay. The next one is, I shut down during conflict. Interesting. You know, it's funny because doing all the work that I've done, I am able to regulate my emotions. And so anytime there's a conflict, I just kind of sit back and just like allow the person to vent, get out whatever it is, because I don't take anything to heart. It's not about me. When they're frustrated, it's about them. So the person vents, and last year it happened to my son. And I let him vent, and that was that. But this year, he did something and he vented a type of anger at me. And I was just like, my trigger went off like, who the heck does this kid think he is? And so I was trying to figure out why. Because I'm like, I know I can handle my emotions. But the thing is, we're human. It always affects us. Like, we get really good at controlling our emotions. Remember, when somebody attacks you or goes off on you, it's about them. It's not about you. And so when you're able to really understand and regulate your emotions, then you have the power. They don't. So let's see. Do you shut down during conflict? And sometimes this particular one is just different. It's a different type of, I want to say, demeanor. Some people get really quiet and reserved, and they're just receiving the information before they respond. That's how I am now. I'll receive the information before I respond. So how do you rate this one? Never, rarely, sometimes, often, or almost always? Okay, and the last one in this section is, I feel uncomfortable needing people emotionally. This is a good one. This is actually, this whole section, I almost feel is like for that strong, headstrong, independent woman or even man, where their ego is too high for any type of vulnerability to take place. So how would you rate yourself? I feel uncomfortable needing people emotionally. Would you rate that as a 1? Never. As a 2? Rarely. As a 3? Sometimes. As a 4? Often. Or as a 5? Almost always. Okay. So here we're going to go ahead and break it down. So this core fear is losing independence or getting hurt. And this is where a lot of people are at too, where they put up these walls, these barriers. And a lot has to do with ego. They don't want to lose their independence, or they have this extreme fear of getting hurt. And this is what we uncover. Who hurt you back in the day? Who didn't allow your independence? So therefore you're showing up in these types of relationships that are constantly keeping you away. And these signs include emotional distance, avoiding vulnerability, shutting down, needing excessive space. Does this sound familiar in somebody you know? Maybe in a relationship? Is that you? Avoidant attachment says, I'd rather protect myself than risk vulnerability. And that's not okay, because you have this barrier, this wall, where you're not allowing that love to come in. You're not allowing it to be received on your own. So it's kind of like, I ain't letting anybody in because I'm not letting myself in. And it's unfortunate because you're missing out on a love that is really beautiful to experience. So here's a relatable example. You crave connection, but when someone gets too emotionally close, you suddenly feel overwhelmed or disconnected. Is that you? Is that you in a relationship? Oh, we're just getting started, you guys. I think I have 2 more. I got to double check. All right. So some people don't avoid love, they avoid vulnerability. So it's funny because I'll talk to people sometimes about this and they're like, yeah, I want a relationship, this and that. And it's like, well, how willing are you? How willing are you to open up and be vulnerable? And so, this is the masculine energy, because a lot of men will not open up this area. And some women, who have stepped into the masculine side more than their feminine side. And I've been there. Where I'm like, I'm independent. I don't care. I don't need no man. The whole thing, you guys, I said it to protect myself. But there was always that love that I had been searching for way back when. And when I finally got it, it was amazing. Did we do this one? Okay, been there. Yes. Or avoid commitment. Yeah, that's true, actually. People will avoid commitment just so that they don't get hurt. So true. So true. Okay, so we're going into the next section. This is another one. So you're like, hey, my attachment style hasn't come up yet. I'm still going, honey. I'm still going. Be patient with me. All right, let me go ahead and bring up the notes again. Here we go. Where was the last one? I think we're on segment 5. Okay, there we go. Sorry, my notes from my computer are separate from the notes on the live. So bear with me. Section 5? Yes, section 5. Here we go. Okay, so this is a fearful, disorganized attachment. You ready for it? All right, so I crave love deeply, but fear getting hurt. So where would you rate this? I crave love deeply, but fear getting hurt. Stop it, Will. I am going to ban you. Just kidding. You're too cute. Thank you for playing along. I appreciate you. All right. So I crave love deeply, but fear getting hurt. So rate this. Is this number 1 is never. This is not me. Number 2, rarely. Number 3, sometimes. Number 4, often. Or number 5, almost always. So give yourself a rating there. Okay. Why did my notes leave? Okay, here we go. So I go back and forth between closeness and distance. So this is somebody that's like going a teeter-totter type of feeling. Like I want to be in a relationship. I want to feel close, but I'm also really distant. So I get close and it's all feels all good and fine and dandy. And then I hold back. So is this you? Go ahead and rate yourself, whether it's 1, never, 2, rarely, 3, sometimes, 4, often, or 5, almost always. What are you up to beyond the scale? Oh my goodness. You need to behave. I can't see it anymore. I keep going back between the text block. Oh, I know what's happening. Okay. Sorry, Will. You can't play no more. I'm just kidding. No, because I keep going back between the text block and my notes. And if I keep going back to there, it keeps throwing me off of my notes section. So, boo. I'm just kidding. All right. So do you go back and forth between closeness and distance? And the next one is relationships feel emotionally overwhelming. That's a good question, actually. Relationships feel emotionally overwhelming. And remember, you guys, this is what I talk about, emotional regulation, how to regulate your emotions, understanding your worth, understanding your own self-love, and forgiveness. So if this is you, rate it. 1, never, 2, rarely, 3, sometimes, 4, often, and 5, almost always. We got 2 more on this section. I fear abandonment, but also fear vulnerability. So again, it's like one or the other, like you're going back and forth. You fear abandonment, but you also fear vulnerability. So it's like you don't know which one you want to go with. You're indecisive about it. So go ahead and rate that one. 1, never. 2, rarely. 3, sometimes. 4, often. Or 5, almost always. And the last one for this one is, I sometimes sabotage relationships when they get too close. Oh. This was me in the beginning. Because again, it was that fear. It was a fear of like, they're going to leave me, so I need to leave them first. So I'm going to go ahead and put this was me back in the day. And I would, because that was what my pattern knew. It was self-sabotage. So it would self-sabotage not only my own success, but I would self-sabotage relationships as well. So this can be relatable. So it's 1 is never, 2, rarely, 3, often. No, I'm sorry. 3 is sometimes, 4, often, and 5, almost always. How would you rate yourself? I sometimes sabotage relationships when they get too close. All right, you guys, add those up, see where you're at. Mostly 1s, 2s, 3s, 4s, or 5s. So the core fear here is wanting love while fearing pain. So you're just stuck in between, you know? And some of the signs are hot and cold behaviors. Sometimes you're going to be like, all right, this is great. Hey, what's up? Da, da, da. And then you're going to ghost someone. That's not okay. Always be communicative, transparent, honest. Communication is key in every single relationship, whether it be a romantic one, a family one, a career one, a friendship one. Communication is key, and so many people don't know how to communicate. And all you're doing is just asking for what you want in a loving way. Okay? So many times relationships are you did this, you did that, and the person will automatically go on defense mode. The person who you're saying, you this, you that. And the thing about blame is all it is it's an internal reaction to your own needs. So find out what it is that you need and crave by loving who you are so that you can then show up in a place of love and safety and forgiveness and calming. You want to be someone who is just grounded so that the relationship that you attract is a mirror of yours. Because the relationships you attract, even if it's chaotic and toxic, is because of what you're holding on to inside. Did I show this already? Hot and cold behavior, emotional overwhelm, inconsistency, fear of intimacy, fear of rejection. Emotional behavior. Let's talk about that really quick. Emotional behavior. So sometimes you're going to get really angry at the person because they're not showing up in the way that you want them to. There's inconsistency. One day you're good because you have all the love in the world, and the next day you pull away because you don't want to be hurt or abandoned. Fear of intimacy. If I get too close, then I will drop my guard and they're going to hurt me. And fear of rejection. What if I get too close and then all of a sudden they leave me? There's I wish I would have had it available for this show. But if you guys watched, if you've ever seen Fools Russian, one of my favorite quotes from that movie is when the grandmother is talking to Isa and she's like, she let go of Matthew Perry's character because she didn't want to be hurt. And so she lied to him about being pregnant. And so she goes, I feared, this was Salma Hayek's character. She's like, I feared that if I didn't let him go, he was going to leave me. And she's like, I don't know if I could deal with that. All right, you guys. So we just finished up 5. So like I mentioned, the core fear is wanting love while fearing pain. Remember, this attachment style often lives in emotional survival mode. So you're constantly on emotional survival. Is this going to work? Is this not? Is this? Is that? It's a teeter-totter effect, and it's messing with your emotions constantly. And here's a relatable example. One moment you want closeness, and the next moment you want to run. Know anybody like that needs to see this show and understand it? So you can crave love and still fear it. A lot of people do that. I want love, but they're fearful of it. All right, now we're coming into the last section, you guys, of secure attachment. I'm going to go a little bit fast because of our time. Okay, here we go. Here's the next 5 questions and we are done. I communicate openly and honestly. What did I just say? That communication is number 1. It's key. How do you rate your communication? I communicate openly and honestly. I'm probably at a 4 now. I've gotten a lot better. I won't say I'm 5 just yet. No, I mean, I'm honestly like a 4.8 because my major is communications. So communication is extremely important. So do you rate yourself number 1? You never. Number 2, rarely. Number 3, sometimes. Number 4, often, or number 5, almost always. I'm a 4.8. There's times I shut down, but that's, my boyfriend knows. When I shut down, I just tell him, just leave me alone. Let me process, da-da-da. But I'm pretty good at communication. I'll tell him when something's bothering me. Number 2, I feel safe expressing emotions. Rate that. I feel safe expressing emotions. 1, never. 2, rarely. 3, often. 4, 3 was sometimes. 4, often. Or 5, almost always. I feel safe expressing emotions. I 100% feel safe expressing my emotions. I know who I am. I know what I want. I know what I bring. I know what to expect. And so I value myself and who I am in the woman that I am to share my emotions with you. And I'll talk about it. I don't get mad. I just said, this is what I need. This is where I'm at. And this is how I want to move forward. On board or not. That simple. I can love without losing myself. Yes, you can. Where are you at in this? I can love without losing myself. 1, never. 2, rarely. 3, sometimes. 4, often. Or 5, almost always. I trust consistency. Yep. 1, never. 2, rarely. 3, often. 3, sometimes. 4, often. Or 5, almost always. And number 5, I can maintain boundaries without guilt. 100%, 5. I have no problem telling people no. It's fine. I have no regret, no nothing. The thing is, I got to love who I am, and there's no harshness around it. Nobody's ever offended. The relationships, everything that I attract is all loving. So, all right, you guys, the core trait here, feeling safe in connection without abandoning yourself. This is where you get to be. This is where I'm going to take you in the Self-Love Mastermind. You guys all know already, the QR code is right there. Join me first week of June, June 5th, 6th, and 7th. This one is for women, and then I'm doing a men one for men at the end of, I want to say it's actually going to take place in July for men. It's going to be a 3-hour workshop for men, because I know this topic is a little bit, I'm going to be treading lightly with the men because I know that their verbiage is different, which is fine, but more details will come on that. This particular one, though, is for women, and we're going to be diving into all things healthy relationships and how you get to show up in your best, as your best self, in your divine purpose, moving forward with so much confidence and love that you're going to start attracting every single thing around you. And I'm going to show you how. You're going to live with peace, with joy, with just so much happiness that it's going to change your perspective on a lot of things. Whether that be at work, whether it be in your home life, it just changes who you are, and you're grounded. And that's where you need to be, because that's where love is going to find you. And if you're looking for love in all the wrong places, you need to hop into this mastermind as well. And you guys, as a coach, somebody helped me when I jumped into coaching the first time. So if you need payment plans and you really want to be a part of it, let's connect. I'm all about helping you get there. I just want to make sure that you are making the decision that you are going to take your life to the next level, and you're taking that love to the next level. All right. So that is it for the show, you guys. I appreciate every single one of you for being here, for showing up, and for investing in who you are becoming and the love you're about to step into. I honor you and congratulate you for doing that. So thank you again. And you guys, in 2 days, I am off to Italy. So I will not be here. You're going to see reruns for the next 2 weeks. My apologies for that. I didn't get a chance to record any other episodes for you all. So catch a rerun that I've done in the past. They're phenomenal. And reach out to me if you have any questions. You can find me on social media. I will be sharing all my stories of the trip. So definitely look forward to seeing you all there. Have a blessed one. And I can't wait to see you guys when I get back and be here. So sending you tons of love, light, and energy. Go out there. Be the change you wish to see in the world. Love you guys. And I will see you on the next